What's going on YouTube? Heading back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we'll be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Tron to BTC. We will also be looking at the coins that I am most interested in 2019, as well as checking out an article basically talking about crypto exchange Binance is now accepting Visa for Bitcoin, XRP, which is owned by Ripple, Ethereum, and Litecoin payments. Obviously, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. This way you don't miss out on any brand new cryptocurrency related media, current events, as well as the best times to trade. This way you don't miss out on any ways to get more money for your portfolio. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. So currently I'm on the coin market cap, as most of you should know, and the market cap is 113.8 billion. We have a 24-hour volume of 17.3 billion, and then a Bitcoin dominance of 53.3%. So what I am noticing compared to yesterday's video is Bitcoin dominance is staying fairly neutral. It's a little bit higher than where it was yesterday, which is an indication that the altcoins, like Litecoin, Ethereum, XRP are falling at a more rapid rate than Bitcoin, or Bitcoin is growing and those alts are not moving at all. And we will see that reflected in the prices in a second. 24-hour volume is 17.3, which is an indication we are seeing money move into the exchanges. It doesn't mean it is going to make the prices move up or down. It just is an indication that money is moving into exchanges or leaving. The biggest indicator is the market cap. So there is a slightly lower market cap than yesterday, which is an indication that the markets are slightly taking a dip in the bottom direction. They are pulling back. And as we can see out of these top 10 cryptocurrencies, they are all in red. Unfortunately, today is another day of consolidation, another day of pulling back down, and the markets does not look good. A couple of coins are actually in the green, staying afloat in this bearish weather. This cold, stormy day. I actually had class off today, so that's awesome. School was canceled because it is like sub 30 degrees Fahrenheit, which is freezing. But for the most part, out of the top 10 coins, they're really not down by much. So it's another day of consolidation, of stability. In my personal overview of things, Bitcoin being only $3,400, not even down 1%. It's not much to worry about. It's just another move in the sideways direction, which is something we're going to have to talk about. But otherwise, coins are really maybe down 2 or 3% at most. So nothing looks too, worrisome. Litecoin is still the number 7 position, $31. Tron is now number 8, bumped out Stellar, which is beautiful. It's got a ways to go. I do think it's about 2 or $1.7 billion away from catching up to Litecoin, but we'll see if that ever happens. Otherwise, moving on to today's episode. Before we jump into the article, guys, if you guys are interested in making $25 of free Bitcoin, there's a link, the top of the link in the description. Basically, it is a link to an Abra app. It is an exchange basically on iOS, so Apple or Android. Download that, you sign up, add $5 from a bank account to that exchange and deposit it into Bitcoin, and they will send you $25 of free Bitcoin. So who doesn't like free Bitcoin? I have like over, I think 30 people so far have actually used that link. So thank you guys for all helping support the channel. It's awesome. I do appreciate that. I believe there's only 1 to 2 more weeks before it goes away, and then you can't redeem it all. So definitely recommend checking that out. Definitely download it. And otherwise, let's move on into the article. So right now, dailyhodl.com decided to put out an article basically discussing Binance's new adoption. So today is January 31st. That's when the article was made. Basically talking about crypto exchange Binance accepting Visa, which is a credit card, for XRP, Ethereum, Litecoin. When I first got into cryptocurrency, Binance was really just an exchange that you couldn't really put US dollars into that I'm aware of. You pretty much had to send Bitcoin into it, and then you could do all your transactions. And even if you could deposit USD, it could only be, turned into Bitcoin. You couldn't really just buy Litecoin straight from US dollars. So the fact that they're making this more, mainstream and a lot more accessible is definitely a good stepping stone in the positive direction to see, mass adoption for cryptocurrencies like Litecoin that we're so fond of. But basically the world's leading crypto exchange, Binance, now accepting debit and credit cards in a bid to make it easier to turn fiat into cryptocurrency, which we just discussed. Binance is thrilled to enable debit and credit payments for the cryptocurrencies through our new partnership called Sim Simplex. Simplex is actually used on Bitcoin.com. It was the first exchange I've ever heard of that turned US dollars into Bitcoin. That's pretty much how I started off, you know, purchasing cryptocurrency. You know, if you guys weren't aware of that, Simplex was what I used, and it's pretty darn popular. They do take a small fee, but you know, it is what it is when you're turning US dollars into Bitcoin. And there's a lot of background checks on that too, because it does want to make sure you are who you say you are and you're not, you know, being a fraudulent account, or you're going to charge back, or so on and so forth. But basically, as part of Binance's larger mission to increase adoption, you know, and mainstream accessibility of cryptocurrency, Binanceans, which are now available to use Visa and MasterCard, so I guess that's what they call their Binance users, Binanceans, to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and XRP and start trading on Binance.com within minutes. Users worldwide can now pay with Visa and MasterCard. The fees are 3.5% per transaction with a minimum charge of $10, which means you can't buy $5 of Bitcoin. I don't know who would, but it has to be $10 or more. Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao says the move is part of the company's focus on making it easy for traders to enter the market. And quote unquote, he said, "We want to provide Binance traders with fast and easy access to crypto in the most secure way possible. With most of the world's money still resting in fiat, building fiat gateways is what we need now to grow the ecosystem and create more long-term opportunities with cryptocurrency." So the option is disabled in a handful of countries, including Cuba, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Libya. In the US, all but 6 states are supported. Unfortunately, New York, Connecticut, Hawaii, Georgia, New Mexico, and Washington are excluded. So if you're in any of those, I believe you're not allowed to buy it with the credit cards yet. There's, you know, a lot of controversy with the governments supporting credit card buys, but you can still use Binance. It's definitely a good website to use. It gives you tons of access to practically all the cryptocurrencies that exist. In early January, Binance launched a fiat to crypto exchange based in Jersey that supports the British pound and the euro. It followed by opening of the similar exchange in Uganda, which supports the Ugandan shilling. The company has an ambitious roadmap for 2019 with plans to launch a total of 10 new fiat to, you know, crypto exchanges worldwide. That's huge, guys. That's massive. You know, world adoption for people to actually, who are in impoverished companies, socialist societies, to actually, you know, put their monies in their own hands and, you know, not get barred by the inflation of their, you know, fiat currencies. Furthermore, moving on to today's episode, before we jump into the charts, I did want to show you guys something really quick. This, guys, is my Patreon. So a lot of you guys have been asking me for access to my TradingView charts, for the charts that I use to make my plays, when to buy in, when to sell out. And I decided to actually make this accessible for you guys. It's in an awesome platform. It's all done up. It's brand new. It is the second link in the description, patreon.com//CryptoTV. It's that simple. Second link in the bottom. Basically, now you guys get access to all my charts, as well as getting to know me personally. I will be giving out my phone number so you guys can text me, and you guys can, you know, call me, 30-minute conversation discussing your portfolios and personally my buy-ins and buyouts. So this is all available on my patreon.com account. It is awesome. Definitely check it out. And there is a special video that I made specifically for Patreon that you can check out with that link in the description. So it's definitely a cool way to really be one-to-one with all my TradingView charts, like this Litecoin chart that we're about to check out. You guys can access this with Patreon. It is live updates, so anything I post you guys will get as well. So definitely recommend checking that out. Furthermore, moving into the Litecoin charting analysis and today's topic of discussion, what exactly are the coins that I'm personally looking at for 2019 to see substantial growth? Now, believe it or not, they are the ones that I discuss. You know, Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tron. There obviously are some outliers that I haven't mentioned. I can't cover, you know, 30 different cryptocurrencies within a 15 to 20-minute episode, so I do have to keep it short and sweet. These are the 4 that I chose that are seemingly doing quite well. In the short term for Litecoin right now that we're looking at, there is a very, 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 very interesting pattern that I'm noticing on the coin itself. You know, what's interesting is the fact that Litecoin, you know, for the past couple of weeks, you know, from December 20th, which was over a month ago, to today, which is January 31st, so about 5 weeks, we have been trading in this, you know, channel right here. And it's very interesting to see that we're not really moving in either direction. Yes, we did actually have a support, you know, this ascending triangle that was forming, this uptrend, and we did actually manage to climb across, break out, but we found a resistance at $40. Now that will come into play later on in the year, so we do have to be mindful that that exists. Now, what's interesting is we are stuck in between here. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. You guys can see the drop in volume right here, which is another interesting thing that we have to take note of. And you can also see that we are trading at 47 on the relative strength indicators in terms of Litecoin. So what that is telling me, guys, is that there is a move coming. And, you know, a lot of you guys are saying that I repeat my titles and that they're very, you know, permeable. Now, that's not true. When I say a big move is coming, that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to skyrocket in price and see a $5,000 Litecoin in the next week. What I'm saying is that a move of volume is coming. Volume, like we've talked about in the beginning of today's episode, volume can either mean that we're going to see money, you know, leave exchanges at a rapid pace, or volume is going to come in and we're going to see money move into exchanges at a very rapid pace. Now, what I'm referring to is this is not a stable move. This is not sustainable in the slightest. Now, when we see sustainability in a market that's more volatile than the S&P 500 and the stock market, it's an indication that this is a red flag, that we have to pay attention to this, and that a move of vigorous volume is coming very soon. Now, this is definitely trading for quite some time now. It's testing its support at $20 or at $30, and as we know, if it continues to do that, it is going to weaken its support, and we are going to see a move in one direction or another. Now, obviously, I'm no, you know, fortune teller, just like the weatherman. We give good predictions on what we think, and you guys take with that with a grain of salt and do what you want with that information. But basically, I am anticipating a move in either direction, obviously, and then I will, you know, adjust where I buy in and where I buy out. Obviously, if we dip, we're going to fall most likely to $23. That seems about average, and that's probably where I'll buy in for Litecoin. And if we do decide to break up in the bullish direction, I would actually buy in as soon as we break $33. You'll notice this is a insanely strong resistance up at the top here. So if we do manage to break above there and we can close a daily candle above there, I will definitely buy in and we'll ride this wave up, and I'll sell it at 40, making a couple of $100. And you know, that pays the bills, that pays the gas. So it's definitely recommended to watch out and wait. Obviously, you guys can access all these charts on my patreon.com for a small fee, and it's cheaper than buying the TradingView itself, so definitely recommend checking that out. Furthermore, Bitcoin on its weekly. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go into Bitcoin as in depth because it is similar to Litecoin, but what I wanted you guys to know is we're not out of the hole yet. And what I mean by that is there is this massive downtrend that has been on the market since November 27th of 2017. This descending triangle, or it could even start off in February of 2018, but it's been on this market for over a year now. And what I mean by that is you guys can clearly see resistance, volume, supports, and then we broke bearish from that. We could not break the downtrend. We fell out of our high-low MMA from Bitcoin's weekly, and we are trading fairly low on the RSI in terms of Bitcoin's weekly. So what I am truly anticipating, and why these are my top gainers, is the fact that we're going to probably trade out sideways for the next couple of weeks, you know, into March, April, and then we could potentially see a pop. And I can expect to see that pop going probably up to $6,200. Obviously, some resistance at $5,500, testing that green band. But I'm definitely expecting to see a move in the positive direction because we haven't seen that in a long time. Now, it doesn't have to be vigorous. It doesn't have to be a huge volume rush, but I do expect to see a small one at that, and then a slow consolidation up to the top. Now, if we do fall, which I would be very shocked at, obviously $3,000 would be the next move in play. And then if we decided to go even lower, 1,770 would be the next area of support, but those are definitely quite low. We haven't seen that. That would send weeklies, Bitcoin's weekly charts into an oversold market, which would obviously be huge buying opportunities, but I don't honestly expect that to happen. Moving on to Ethereum, guys. Ethereum is definitely something to look at too. You know, this is another top gainer that I would recommend holding on to in your portfolio for 2019. But this downtrend is definitely holding on strong. We saw it break resistance right here at 114. Actually, we saw it break support at 114. We were trading out sideways. Volume dipped off. I can add the volume really quick for you guys. Bam, how's that? You can see the volume has slowly come to a halt. We have slowly dipped down on our relative strength indicator, and we're coming to a place where we're meeting up with the downtrend once again. So consolidation is definitely needed for Ethereum's daily. It is very possible that on this downtrend we could break bullish from that. You know, see a 114 again. Clearly we're only 106. $10 jump, and we could actually break all the way up and shoot up to 160 in a couple of weeks. So it is definitely possible that a move to the upside is definitely, you know, it's in the ballpark. It is in play. Lastly, Tron. I have a bunch of people that are interested in Tron. It is a coin to be paying attention to. Now, I am staying away from this mainly because I am not one to buy in when things are running up. You know, it's a lot of FOMO investing. And I was thinking about it a couple of days ago, back on, I believe it was the 26th. It was all the way back on the 19th of January when I first started looking at this. I called that when this red touched support down here, that's when I would buy in, and then watch it go off and sell up at the top here. It didn't do that. It actually played a little mind game and then reversed as soon as I called that, and we went all the way up to our previous resistance, which we've tested back on January 10th. That is indicating that this is a very strong resistance. You know, we could also drop this down here and say that is a resistance too that's in play, but definitely something we have to look at. But you guys can see we are currently declining due to the fact we were overbought on its RSI, and due to the fact that that's happening, we're probably going to hit this bar of support, which I've drawn here, as well as this uptrend here. Now, if we do manage to test either one of these, I may put in a little bit into Tron and then ride that up to the resistance up at the top here and then sell off and then watch what happens. Either we're going to dump or we're going to move up with support. If we do dump, we'll probably retest that high-low MMA as it moves up in the weeks coming. But otherwise, that's going to sum up today's episode, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, share it on Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Turn on post notifications. This way you don't miss out on any cryptocurrency current events and best times to buy into currencies. And otherwise, drop a thumbs up if you like the content and want to see more. This way I know you guys want to see more videos like this. And lastly, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Peace.